So, in the last session, we started discussing about the one of the project around airline domain. We have some requirement of personalization, building a personalized email. So this is the documentation that we studied, and let me give you brief around what we have done so far. So actually, the at the end of the session we are going to personalize the email using the LookupRows, lookup row count, right, for loop, row and field functions. Okay, we wanted to write down the AMPscript which will give us the information from different data extensions, right, or different attributes of data extension. So what we have done so far, we have built few data extension. First, passenger data extension, which is a sendable one. Second, airline data extension, flight data extension, and booking data extension. If you can see here, right, this is our sendable data extension, means passenger data extension is our sendable data extension. Then if you can see, we have a airline data extension. Flight data extension has a foreign key called airline ID. Then we have, let's say, booking data extension. Booking data extension is having a centralized relationship where we have a foreign key of passenger ID, then flight ID, right? Then we have created some attribute group. Right now, let me show you in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud how we have developed the data extension. We actually imported some data also in the data extension, right? So let me just get into my org. uh, Perfect. Let me authenticate me. So okay, fine. So if you can see, this is my Salesforce org. I will show you few data extension first, and then attribute group. Along with that, I will show you how what is our requirement, and then we will jump to the fulfillment. Okay. So I'll go to email cloud, email studio. In the email studio, we have built one data extensions, several data extension basically. Let me jump to my folder, airline examples. In this folder, we have created few data extension like passenger data extension. It is a sendable. Flight data extension. It is non-sendable. Booking data extension. It is non-sendable, and airline data extension. It is again non-sendable. Okay, this particular passenger data extension have a 20 records. Flight data extension have a 8 record. Airline data extension have a, let's say, 4 records, and booking data extension have a 20 records. Okay, let me duplicate this tab. Let me show you attribute groups on this tab. Okay, so I'll go to contact builder. From contact builder, I will open my attribute group. I forget the name of the attribute group, but I'll still try to search that. So let the attribute groups load. uh, I wanted to, so I think this is my attribute group, right? Airline example new, right? Now if you can see here, if you can see here, right, it will load, right? Our we have a contact key. Contact key is in relationship with passenger ID, right? And passenger ID is in relationship with the passenger ID in the booking data extension. If you can see here, right, the relationships, right? We have one-to-one relationship. We have one-to-many relationship. Here again we have one-to-one relationship in between flight ID, right? And here we have a one-to-one relationship with the airline ID. Okay, fine. So this is our particular attribute group. Now let's jump to the core problem statement for today, right? What we have to do, we have to send a personalized email to each passenger showing their past history about the travel. Okay, now let me open the passenger data extension, right? This is my primary data extension, means this is sendable. We have a passenger information, right, stored in the passenger data extension. Now if you can see the passenger data extension, passenger data extension has nearly 20 records along with the passenger data extension, right? All means all the records are unique in the passenger ID, right? Means with respect to the passenger ID, we have all the records unique. So passenger ID is a primary key, right? Now we can get the passenger ID from the, let's say, passenger data extension from airline, right? Why? Because it is sendable, and by using the attribute value function, right, we can get the value of the any attribute of the subscriber. Okay, now let me duplicate it, right? Let me open the next data extension, that is booking data extension. Okay, now booking data extension is uh, so I'll open the booking data extension, just hold. So we have a booking data extension. The booking data extension has again 20 records. Now, if you can see here, right, there are some passengers which don't have travel history, right? So here we have a passenger IDs from P001 to P020. Okay, but if you can see here, right, the passenger ID present here are present till P10, P010. Okay, one particular passenger has two bookings nearly, right? And the passenger ID beyond the 10, right, does not have any booking. So according to the requirement, right, we have a requirement where, right, we have to show the booking history, right? Booking history of the passenger, right? And if it does not have any travel history, or if the passenger does not have any travel history, right, we must show one message called looks like you haven't traveled with us yet. Okay, so let's do it, right? Let me open my email. So for the email, I'll again duplicate the tab, right? Why I'm duplicating the tab? Because it makes me easy to navigate, because I need to give a reference from get a reference from this passenger data extension as well as booking data extension and few more, right? So that's why I'm keeping each tab separate. Okay, so I'll click on overview, right? I'll click on example past travel, right? uh, let me open the email. Okay, fine. Now okay, so let me just edit the content. Let me just remove this AMPscript, right? Observe, guys, right? First of all, right, what is my logic? My logic is very simple, right? This passenger data extension airline is nothing but the my primary data extension or sendable data extension. From this passenger data extension, I will get a passenger ID, right, from the attribute group function, right? And from this attribute group function, right, I will look for the records using LookupRows function. Okay, means for example, if my passenger ID is P001, right, then I will get a two records. Okay, fine. I will get two records from here. Okay, right, using LookupRows function. Means I will look, right, with the help of passenger ID, I will look into this particular data extension, that is booking data extension, and fetch all the records of that particular passenger's booking history. Okay, now let me do that, right? First of all, right, so I will just simply start my script like this. This is the starting point of my script, this is the ending point of my script. Now I will use attribute value function, right? First of all, why? because with the help of attribute value, I can get any attribute relevant to the particular sendable data extension. So simply, so simply, I will get, I will create one variable set at the rate passenger ID, okay, equal to, right, attribute value, and here I will pass the attribute which I need from this passenger data extension. Okay, I need this passenger ID attribute, so I'll copy, I'll paste here. Okay, fine, done. Now I will get the passenger ID. Now I wanted to see it, right? So with the help of v function, I'll check, right, whether I'm getting the passenger ID or not. Okay, so I will copy the variable, paste, done editing, next. If you can see, right, I'm able to get the passenger ID. I have a passenger ID now, right, in my variable pass ID. Now, with the help of LookupRows, right, I will get all the let's say all the bookings, right, bookings row, right. So I'll create one variable, set at the rate, right, booking rows equal to, right, I will use LookupRows function. Now to get the LookupRows, to, yes, Sandeep, directly ask the question if you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shubham, I have a question. Like, you have just retrieved the value of passenger ID from with the help of the attribute
Hmm.
from that particular data extension.
Yeah.
If somehow that attribute is present in two or more data extension, what will be happening in that case?
Look, right, we have mapped the what we can say data extension here. So we are previewing and testing, right, here, right. We are selecting the data extension, sendable data extension, right, which sendable data extension we wanted to associate with our email, right. And if that particular data extension has the passenger ID, right, it will fetch that record. Are you getting
Okay,
me? Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
fine. Yeah, so we are associating the right data extension, right, which is basically sendable only. We can only associate the sendable data extension, not a non-sendable data extension. Okay.
okay,
Yeah. Okay. So next is, right, uh, so we got the passenger ID, relevant passenger ID, right, in the pass ID. Now my requirement is, right, I wanted to get the rows, right, from different data extensions. So actually, from this passenger data extension airline, we fetch the ID, right. Now with the help of that ID, right, I wanted to fetch the rows. For example, this is my ID which I got, right. I wanted to fetch these two rows, right. Now, how I can get that rows by using LookupRow function. Now, LookupRow function has a simple syntax: data extension name, right. Data extension name, which where we have to look up, right. Second column, right, and third, right, value, right. These are the three parameters that we need to give to the, let's say, lookup rows function. Okay. Now to lookup rows function, right, I will pass the booking data extension's name, right. So this is my booking data extension. I will copy it, right. I will pass here which column I wanted to fetch. Sorry, not a column, right. Booking rows will means which column, this booking data extension airline, right. This is my data extension name. Now my comparison is with this column, right. Which column I need to compare with, right, passenger ID. So I'll copy this column name. Okay, and what is the value? Value is pass ID. Okay, fine. Right, so I will get some rows, right. Now with the help of one particular one particular count function, right? Row count function. I will I will create one variable set at the rate booking count equal to. So I have created one variable booking count, and this particular booking count variable, right? I will store the row count, right? With the help of row count function, this row count function will count the rows present in this particular variable. Okay, now I will check, right, how many rows we are getting with the help of v function. Okay, fine. I'll copy, I'll paste. Done editing. Next. Now observe, right? This P009 has a two row, right? Observe P009. P009 P009 has two rows, right? P0010 also has two rows, but P011 does not have any row, right? So I'll change, right? P011. P011 will get me 0 rows. Okay. 0 rows means what, right? Means it here P011 is does not have any past history. Now here we come we come up with the second requirement, right? For the P011, we must show looks like you haven't traveled date. Okay. And for P means for someone who has a history, right? We have to show the data about flight number, airline, from, to, travel date, and status. Am I clear? Yes or no? Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do it. Right. So we got the number in the booking count. Right. Now, with the help of let's say with the help of if else statement, right? We will prepare the logic. Okay. Fine. Just hold. Okay. So observe if, right, we have to write down the condition, right? Then, right, the code block, right? Else code block and end if. This is my syntax. Okay. I will remove these wave functions now because I don't need that. Okay. So if, right, what is the condition? Condition is if the booking count equal to 0, right? If my booking count equal to 0, right? If it is 0, then we need to show something, show message something, right? Else we need to show another message. Okay, right? So I'll do one thing. I will create two variables to have a message, right? So set, right, I will create message one equal to, right, this is my message one, set at the right message two, this is my second message, right? First message will be, right, first message will be I will write the same message which I have. What is the message? Looks like you haven't traveled with us yet, right? So first message will be looks like you have won't have not traveled with us yet. Okay, fine. And second message will be, right, you have traveled with us and your booking history history is 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 as follow. Okay, fine. This is my first message, this is my second message. Now my requirement is, right, after this if, right? Means in this code block, I wanted to view the first message, but in the AMP script, can I directly put the view? No, right? So I'll do one thing. I'll close my AMP script here, right? And uh, and after this code block, right, I will again open it. Make sure wherever you are closing the AMP script, for the further code you need to open it, right? And in this code block, right, you need to write down the v function equal to sorry, percent equal to v equal to percent, right? Here I will show the message one. I'll copy the message one, right? Fine, right? And in the else, right, again I wanted to close the AMP script here and open it again. Okay, right? Sorry, not here. I will not open here, right? I will open after the code block, right? Percent. Okay, fine. Now here I will show in the else, right? I must show my second message, right? Message two, message two. Okay, fine. Done editing. Next. Now, if you can see, right, for the P0011, it is showing me looks like you have not traveled with us yet. And for let's say for P010, it is giving us you have traveled with us and your booking history is as follow. Now my problem statement is, right, wherever we have a booking history, we have to show that. Am I clear, guys? Yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone is getting how step by step we are achieving the requirement? Yes. You can ask me a question, Kunal, if you have.
No, sir.
Yeah, fine. Now let's jump to the next requirement where we have to fulfill the data, right? So we need a flight number, airline, from, to, travel date, and status. Okay, now first of all, forget about the table because we know that how to put the data inside the table, right? Now we will concentrate on getting the data first of all. Okay, now observe, we have flight number, we have airline, we have from, to, travel date, and status. But these information are stored in the different data extension. Observe, right? So we have fetched the data containing the booking ID, passenger ID, flight ID, booking date, travel date, and booking status. So we have only two data, right, which is fulfilling our requirement: travel date and status, right? These are the only two data, right? Other things like flight number, airline, right, from and to, right, is not given here, is not given here in the, sorry, in the booking data extension. There is no from, there is no, let's say, flight number, there is no to, right? So we don't have that data. That data is present in another data extension, right? Observe, right? Let me duplicate it. Let me duplicate it. Okay, so observe, right? So we have a airline data, sorry, we have a airline information in the airline data extension, right? And we have a flight data extension for the flight information, right? Flight information. Where is flight data extension for the flight information? Now observe, right? So in this particular variable, in this particular variable, booking rows variable, right, we only have the information about these rows, right? Means it has the booking ID, right, of relevant, let's say, consider we are operating on a P001, right? We have these two rows, right, containing the booking ID, right? These two booking ID, these two passenger ID, these two flight ID, these two particularly booking dates, these two travel date, these two, let's say, booking status. But we don't have other information, right? Other informations like airline, we don't know the airline, right? We don't know airline for for let's say for booking ID B001, right? We have the flight ID, right? But we don't know the flight name, right? We don't know from where, means from where to what the booking B001 is for, right? Other information is kept in the different data extension, like all the airline related information is stored in the airline data extension, or the flight related information are kept in the flight data extension. Okay, flight data extension has a flight ID, right? Flight number also, right? We have the flight number, right? Then we have a source, destination, right? Both the things, right? Then airline ID has a airline name. Okay, now my requirement is I wanted to get all the data, right? First of all, step by step, right? We will concentrate only on the two data, right? We will concentrate only on the two data. First is travel date and the status. Okay, and then we will start fulfilling the different data. Okay, so observe guys, right? How I can get the travel date and status. Now, if you observe, right here, right? If we are working with P001, right? Not here, right? If we are working with P001, okay, right? We have a two bookings, right? B01 and B02, right? And it has a different travel date, right? The status is same, right? But travel date is different. Okay, now travel date is different. Travel date is different means, right? We will get a two records or multiple records. So with the help of for loop, we are going to just fetch the record, right? So let me do one thing. Let me write down the logic. Let me extend the logic. Now my requirement is after this v function, right? Means this, if the booking count is 0, then this will get executed, right? And we will not simply jump to the else logic, right? If booking count is more than one means, right? More than 0, sorry, right? Then we will fetch that using the for loop, right? So let's do one thing, right? Let's do one thing, right? Let me write down the logic here, right? I will start writing the logic, right? Now I have a for loop, right? I have a for loop to iterate the data, iterate the information. So I'll simply start writing the for loop syntax here. Concentrate, guys, right? For, right? For I to, means where we need to end this, right? Means for example, how many records will get iterated, the number of records present in this booking rows, right? Means for example, if booking rows contains a 5 records, then we will iterate the 5 records, right? Means for loop should stop at 5. If booking rows should have, if booking rows has a 2 records, then it will iterate the 2 records only, right? So we can say that the for I to booking count, why? Because we know that, right? Booking count is nothing but the number of record present in this particular rows, right? So for I to booking count, right? To, right, here we are going to write down the code block, right? Code block, right? And then finally at the end we will have a next I. Am I clear? Right? Am I clear about this for loop, guys? Clear hai? Yes or no?
Yes, Shubhankar.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now observe.
No,
Right?
Shubham, could you please explain it again?
Means what is not clear about this booking row count? Why I have written down booking row count?
Um, yes, actually.
Yeah. So actually, for example, this for loop will execute the program repetitively, right? Means the whatever code block we are going to write down here, right? That will repeatedly execute it, right? Now, how many times we have to execute it, right? We have to give here. Now, our booking rows contains a 2 rows, right? So how many times we are going to execute how many times we are going to loop into that two times, right? But this particular booking rows, the value of booking rows is not fixed. It depends on the data extension. So we map we map that particular iteration count with the help of booking count, right? Means whatever booking count we have, right, that much time, right, we should iterate the for loop. Am I clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Now observe, right? For I to booking count, do code block, right? Now we know that, right? I I will start with one, right? I will start with one. So let's put the value to I. We will initialize it one, right? Means one, two, right? Let's say if booking count is five, right? It will iterate five times, right? One, two. If booking count is, let's say, two, right? It will iterate for two times, right? So i's value is, for the first iteration will be 2, will be 1, right? For the second iteration it will be 2, right? Next I means it will increase the value, right, of this particular I by 1, right? I have explained the basic syntax of for loop earlier also, right? So if you miss that, right, that's why it might be confusing for you. Okay, fine. So observe, right? Now we have a i's value 1 for the first iteration, right? Now observe, I have a booking rows. I have a booking rows. Now I will create one variable and get the first row out of this booking row, right? How I can get it, right? I have a booking rows, right? I wanted to fetch the first row from these booking rows, right? This booking rows contains a two rows, right? From that two rows I wanted to fetch the first row. How I can get it? By using rows function, right? Rows function, right? So I'll do one thing, right? So I'll create one variable set at the rate row, right? Row is a variable name, guys. Okay, I'll make it small row. Okay, set row equal to row. Row is a function right here, right? Row will just give me the one single row out of the table. Okay, so set row equal to row, right? Which row from which table I wanted to get the row, right? From this particular variable, right? And if I want the first row, right, I will give one here, right? This will give me the first row, right? If I want second row, it will give me two, right? uh, Means if I pass the 2, it will give me second row, right? If I want the third row, I need to pass here 3. Okay, right? But 1, 2, 3 needs to dynamically change according to iteration. So I will just pass here i's value is not fixed, as we all know, right? I's value will change depending on the iteration, right? For the first iteration it is 1, for the second iteration it is 2, right? So it will give me one by one row, right? Means from in every iteration, right, we are going to get the row, right? New row. Am I clear? Yes or no, guys? Clear hai?
Yes, Shubham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please respond, guys, because this is the hard AMPscript, I know that, right? So uh, okay, so set row equal to, we will get the first row. Now from the first row, right, I want a specific field. I want a specific field. Now from the booking rows, right, what I can get, what I want, right? First of all, I want travel date and booking status. These two things I want, right? Travel date and booking status. Okay, so I will get the travel date and booking status, right? How I can get that? So observe, right? Observe, right? I will create one more variable, set, right, at the rate travel date, right? This is a variable, guys. Travel date equal to, right, by using the field, I will get get one single field value. Okay, so by using field function, this is a field function, right? So field, right, which particular rows field, this row variables field. And what is the field title, right, or field label, we have a label, right? Sorry, we have a label called booking status, right? First, we will get the booking status, right? So if you can see, we are dealing with the booking data extension, right? Okay. So not a for travel date, we want not a booking status, right? We want travel date. Okay. So observe, right? From this row, so observe guys, right? Here we have a two rows, right? From these two rows, we get the first row. From this first row, we get the travel date, right? Of that particular row. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes, Prasad. Directly ask the question.
यस शुभम
Yeah.
मैं कह रहा था कि हम वहाँ पे कोड में कमेंट मतलब मेंशन कर सकते हैं क्या, जिससे
हाँ,
हम बाद
कमेंट
में भी
मेंशन
अगर
कर।
कोड हाँ रिव्यू करेंगे तो हमको थोड़ा आइडिया आएगा कि
एक्चुअली
एग्जैक्टली कहाँ
एक्चुअली
का।
एक्चुअली क्या रहेगा पता है क्या? कमेंट करेंगे तो कभी कभी वो एरर्स शो करते हैं, इसीलिए मैं नहीं लिख रहा हूँ। ठीक है, कमेंट यहाँ पे कमेंट हम लोग दे सकते हैं, राइट? बट वो जो कमेंट्स है, राइट, ऐसे HTML में जैसे कमेंट देते हैं वैसे ही, बट वो कमेंट कभी कभी रेंडर होने में प्रॉब्लम होता है, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी विल कीप इट सिंपल फॉर नाउ, राइट? इफ यू, और आपको अगर कमेंट्स वाला कोड चाहिए तो मैं आपको शेयर कर दूंगा ग्रुप पे, डोंट वरी, राइट, एट द एंड।
तो
ओके, फाइन।
थोड़ा सा रिव्यू करने में इजी रहेगा कि एग्जैक्टली
हाँ हाँ,
कहाँ
मैं
क्या
मैं
अवेलेबल
मैं
कहाँ
एट द एंड करूंगा, डोंट वरी, राइट? पहले
पे।
लेट मी
थैंक्स।
फिनिश द फंक्शनैलिटी बिकॉज आई डोंट नो दिस विल वर्क और नॉट, राइट, फॉर नाउ।
श्योर सर। ओके।
Yeah, so fine. So here we fetch the travel date. यहाँ पे हमने travel date fetch किया, right? So observe one more time, right? Booking row से, right, single row निकाला, first row, उससे travel date निकाला. In the same way, right? Can I get the booking status? Booking status. Booking status. Let's see. Right, same function. I'll use the field function, right? At the rate row, comma, right? What is the field for the booking status? This field. Okay, fine, right? We got the booking status, right? We got the travel date, we got the booking status. Okay, now after travel date and after booking status, right? What I need, I have a travel date, I have a status. Now my concentration is on the from and to, right? How I can get the from and to, right? So does this particular booking data extension has a from and to? Observe, right? Does this particular data extension has a from and to? No. Actually, from and to is a part of flight data extension. In the flight data extension, we have source and destination, right? But this particular booking data extension has a flight ID. And if you can see, right, flight IDs are the common thing, right? So with the help of lookup function, right, if we have the flight ID, we can get the source and destination of that particular flight. Okay, so let's do one thing. First of all, I need the flight ID. Do I have the flight ID? No. I will, sorry, no, I have the booking status and travel date. In the same way, I will fetch the flight ID, right? I will fetch the flight ID. So simply, right, state at the rate flight ID equal to field row, comma, I need the flight ID. So I'll copy the flight ID attribute. Am I clear? I got the flight ID, right? Now, if I have the flight ID, right, I wanted to fetch with the help of flight ID, I wanted to fetch the source and destination. How I can get the source and destination? By using lookup function, right? So uh, we are jumping from one data extension to another using lookup function. That is possible. Okay, so I'll simply have set. I will to city two city. Why I'm not using directly two? Because two might be a reserved variable. Okay, so here we have a two, that's why, right? Set two city equal to, right, I will use lookup lookup function. Now lookup function has a four parameter: data extension name, column name, right, comparison and value. Okay, data extension name is where to look up, kahan pe look up karna hai, right, in the flight data extension airline. Okay, in the flight data extension airline, right? In which column? कौन से column में देखना है, right? I want, let's say, to ना, right? Destination. To मतलब destination. So I'll copy the destination. Copy the destination, right? Second parameter will be my column where to look up, right? Third, comparison. Comparison किसके साथ होगा, right? Comparison will be with the, let's say, flight ID. Okay, flight ID. Flight ID. An actual flight ID's value to compare is we have in this variable, flight ID variable. Am I clear? Right. We got a two city. Okay. Right. In the same way, can I get the source, right? Or from city equal to, right? I will copy the entire AMPscript, right? And just change the destination to source, right? And that's it. Okay. So destination to source. Am I clear, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, Shubham.
Yeah, sure.
Fine. So we have from, to, and from. Okay. Now we got these four things as required. Now I want airline, and flight number. Flight number is also, I think, part of, yeah, flight number also we can fetch, right? So we will fetch the flight number also, right? In the same way, right? So set at the rate flight number equal to, right? I will copy the entire logic of lookup function and just change the attribute which I want, flight number. Okay, so we have a data extension where to look up, right? What to compare. Am I clear? Right. Uh next thing that we want is the airline. Now, if you can see here, right, we don't have airline, but we have the airline ID, right? And with the help of airline ID, if we look up into this particular data extension, we can get the airline name. Okay, so first of all, right, we will get the airline ID same way using the lookup function, and with the help of that airline ID, we will get airline name. Okay, so I'll have set at the rate airline ID equal to, I will copy it. Perfect. I want airline ID. I'll copy it. I got the airline ID, relevant airline ID, and with the help of that airline ID, I will get airline name. Airline name equal to, I will look up. Now this time I will not copy as my data extension changed. My syntax was data extension column, right, comparison and value. Okay, data extension where to look up, right, airline data extension example. So airline data extension example, right, which column, uh, in the airline name, where to compare, we have to compare with airline ID, airline ID, right? an actual value, right, of comparison is airline ID. Okay, so we got all the information as per the requirement. Right now I will just simply use v function for now, right? So I will use the v function. So I'll do one thing, right, guys? I'll close my logic here, right? I'll close my logic here, right, and open it again here. Okay, right. And I will use simple v functions, right? V functions. So percent equal to v equal to percent. Instead of using the multiple, instead of using the table, right, I will just simply check for my logic, right? And simply use the v functions, right? Because we are left out of time, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6, I need a 6 v functions, right? So I'll copy 1 2 3 4 4 5 and 6. Okay. uh, the first thing I wanted to display is number flight number. So I'll have a flight number. Okay, the second thing I wanted to display is airline name airline name. Okay, and the third thing, from and to. So from city to city to city. Okay, fine. Next we have travel date and status. Travel date, travel date and status, booking status. Okay, fine. After this, I'll do one thing, right? I will add one break function, right? I will add one break function here also, right? Sorry, break tag, not a function. Okay, fine. So done editing. Let me check for my output. Now, if you can see, right, you have traveled with us and your booking history is right. So for P010, for P010, right, for P010, right, this is the these are the two records, right? So entire booking history I'm able to see, right? One, two, everything. Right now simply I need to put that entire thing into a what we can say, into a table, HTML table. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me change the subscribers, right? So for example, I'll click on next. Now observe. Okay, so this is for P100, right? Now P009, we have changed the entire thing, right? Then again, for the next subscriber, entire thing is changing, right? And for someone who didn't travel, looks like you haven't traveled it. Am I clear? This is how we are going to use multiple AMPscript function and combine them for our logic. Okay, so you want me to add the comments, right? I will add the comments in the code, right? So simply, right, I will so do not use these particular comments because it will not render now, right? I will write down the simple comments for yourself, right? Here what we get the uh, passenger id from attribute group. Okay, right. Second, right, here we get the all rows from booking data extension, booking data extension. Here we get all the rows from booking data extension with respect to passenger ID. Okay, fine. Next, we calculated the number of rows we fetched. Okay, now these are the message. I think no need to write down the anything for this, right? This is very important, right? In the for loop, I will mention everything, right? So here we get the single row from booking rows. Okay. Next, we fetch single single rows travel date. Okay, right. We fetched uh, single row booking status. Okay, and same, we fetched single rows flight ID. Okay, right. With flight ID, we fetched the source city, or sorry, destination city. Destination from the with the flight ID, we fetch the destination city from flight data extension using lookup function. Okay, fine. Next, with flight ID, I'll simply copy this comment, right? With flight ID, we fetch the source city, right? With flight ID, we fetch the flight number, flight number from flight data extension using lookup function. Okay, fine. Next, with let's say with flight ID, we fetch the airline ID, right, from flight data extension. With airline ID, we fetch the airline name, airline name from airline data extension, from airline data extension using the lookup function. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
Subhasan,
Shubham.
thank you.